Port Charles is about to be turned upside down once again, and at the center of the storm stands a familiar, unpredictable figure, Scott Baldwin. Just when fans thought they had seen every possible twist, General Hospital is poised to unleash a storyline that rewrites alliances, shatters careers, and places one of the town's most controversial women under the legal protection of its most morally flexible attorney. Scott is back. His hiding two explosive secrets, he orchestrates the stunning fall of Alexis Davis, and in a move that will enrage half of Port Charles, he becomes Willow's new lawyer. This is not the return of Scott Baldwin as a nostalgic supporting player. This is the return of Scott as a chess master, a survivor, and a man who knows where too many bodies are buried, both figuratively and, perhaps, literally. Scott's reappearance in Port Charles doesn't come with fanfare. There's no dramatic courtroom entrance, no smug grin in the hallway of the courthouse. Instead, he quietly checks into a hotel under an assumed name, meeting with an out-of-town contact late at night. He's older, sharper, and far more cautious than the impulsive lawyer fans remember. This Scott has been through something that taught him patience, strategy, and the value of silence. Rumors ripple quickly through town when he's spotted at Kelly's, watching familiar faces with calculating eyes. Laura is the first to sense that something is off. She knows Scott's rhythms, his tells. This time, he isn't joking, flirting, or posturing. He's studying. And what he's studying, viewers soon learn, is the fragile legal and political balance of Port Charles, especially the power held by Alexis Davis. Scott's first secret ties directly into the dark storyline surrounding Drew's mysterious condition. While the town believes the case is stalled, buried in medical uncertainty and legal red tape, Scott has uncovered something no one else has, proof that the poisoning wasn't just a crime, but part of a carefully constructed legal cover-up. Through an old federal contact, Scott obtains sealed medical records and a chain of custody report that was quietly altered. The documents reveal that a crucial piece of evidence, a syringe, later linked to Willow, was temporarily removed from hospital storage and replaced with a near-identical one. Someone inside General Hospital, working with legal protection, manipulated the evidence to ensure it could never be conclusively tied to the real perpetrator. And the lawyer who signed off on the emergency court order allowing that evidence to be transferred? Alexis Davis. Whether she knew the full truth or was used as a pawn is unclear, but her name is on the paperwork. Scott realizes instantly what this means. Alexis isn't just a respected attorney, she's the keystone holding together a collapsing legal narrative. If her credibility falls, the entire structure around Drew's case, and Willow's role in it, comes crashing down. Scott keeps this information close to his chest. He doesn't confront Alexis. He doesn't alert the authorities. Instead, he prepares. Scott's second secret is even more devastating, and even more personal. Through an unexpected source, Scott comes into possession of a recorded therapy session. In it, Willow, emotionally shattered and convinced she is alone, all but confesses to what she did to Drew. She speaks in fragments, in guilt-soaked half-sentences, but the meaning is clear. She injected him. She altered his mind. She justified it as love, as protection, as necessity. The recording is illegal to possess. It is inadmissible in court. But it is powerful enough to destroy Willow if it ever becomes public, and powerful enough to make her completely dependent on the one man who controls it. Scott now holds two weapons, evidence that could end Alexis's career, and a secret that could send Willow to prison forever. And he intends to use both. Alexis has always been the moral backbone of the Port Charles legal community. Even in her darkest moments, she fought for justice, for truth, for the vulnerable. That's exactly why Scott targets her. He orchestrates a situation in which the altered chain of custody documents surface anonymously in the press. The story breaks. A high-profile attorney may have authorized the mishandling of evidence in a federal-level medical assault case. The name isn't mentioned at first, but whispers quickly point to Alexis. An internal investigation is launched. The DA's office demands answers. Alexis, blindsided, insists she acted within the law, that the emergency order was routine, that she never tampered with evidence. But Scott quietly provides just enough additional documentation to raise doubt about her testimony. A single altered timestamp. A clerk who remembers being pressured to rush the paperwork. A security log that doesn't quite match her version of events. The case against Alexis isn't airtight, but it doesn't have to be. It only has to be messy enough to destroy her credibility. In a devastating courtroom scene, Alexis is forced to recuse herself from multiple cases, including any future involvement with Drew's condition. Her professional reputation, built over decades, begins to crumble. The press descends. Old enemies resurface. Her law license is placed under review. Alexis is effectively eliminated, not physically, but strategically. She is sidelined, silenced, and stripped of the authority that once made her untouchable. And the person who benefits most from her fall? Willow. With Alexis out of the picture, Willow is exposed. She is grieving, guilt-ridden, and increasingly paranoid that the truth about Drew will come out. Michael senses something is wrong. Jason is watching her more closely. Britt's warnings echo in her mind. She is alone. That's when Scott approaches her. Not in public. Not in a courtroom. He finds her in the hospital chapel, sitting in the dark, hands shaking. He speaks softly, almost kindly. He tells her he knows she's in danger. He tells her powerful people are closing in. He tells her Alexis can no longer protect her. Then he offers himself. At first, Willow is horrified. Scott Baldwin has always been controversial, ruthless when cornered, and ethically flexible. She doesn't trust him. She can't. So he reveals just a hint of what he knows. Not the recording. Not the full truth. Just enough to make her realize he isn't guessing. Her fear outweighs her pride. She agrees to let Scott represent her. The announcement sends shockwaves through Port Charles. Scott Baldwin, defender of the guilty, master of legal loopholes, is now officially Willow's attorney. Michael is furious. He confronts Scott, accusing him of exploiting Willow's vulnerability. Scott calmly reminds him that everyone deserves representation, and that if Michael truly loves Willow, he should be grateful someone is willing to fight for her. Jason is more suspicious. He recognizes the look in Scott's eyes. This isn't altruism. This is leverage. Alexis, watching from the sidelines, realizes too late that she's been outmaneuvered. Scott didn't just remove her. He replaced her. As Scott settles into his role, his two secrets loom like ticking bombs. He uses the first to keep the DA's office cautious. With Alexis's credibility in question, no one wants to touch the Drew case too aggressively. Everything becomes legally fragile, procedurally risky. He uses the second to keep Willow close. He doesn't threaten her outright, but she knows he knows. And that knowledge binds her to him more tightly than any contract ever could. But Scott's ultimate goal may be even larger. Some fans will speculate that he's not just protecting Willow, he's positioning himself at the center of the most explosive legal storm Port Charles has seen in years. By controlling the narrative, the evidence, and the defense, Scott becomes indispensable. Untouchable. Powerful. He has eliminated Alexis not out of spite, but strategy. He has aligned himself with Willow not out of kindness, but necessity. And somewhere in the shadows, the truth about Drew, the syringe, and the manipulation of memory is waiting to surface. When it does, Scott Baldwin will be ready. Because this time, he isn't just a lawyer. He's the one writing the rules.